Hi friends, welcome to my YouTube channel SS Analysis. First of all, I would like to tell you that if you are watching this video first time, subscribe my YouTube channel SS Analysis for receiving my upcoming videos on analysis of different commodities and equity indices. And second important thing is to watch this video till its end. To understand this thoroughly to take your decision, your one like will motivate me to be regular in working more hard for you. Let us start the day to analyze the movements of natural gas futures in different time frames before the weekly closing. Friends, we are just 3.5 hours away from the weekly closing. Therefore, I have decided to analyze the current movements of natural gas futures in different time frames to predict the opening levels on first trading session of the week on January 20th, 2019. I know it's a very difficult task to predict the next directional move of natural gas futures, but last Friday I tried my strategy to analyze the movements of natural gas futures before the weekly closing to predict the opening levels on the next trading session of the upcoming week, and I find it very successful for predicting the opening levels for January 13, 2019. Friends, you know that natural gas has shown a extremely volatile moves since November 2018. I find it is very challenging to map the next upcoming directional moves of natural gas futures amid different noises. A sharp rise in natural gas price in late 2018 on concerns of tight supplies and cold weathers also added to the pain because many funds had paired bets on lower natural gas. No doubt that the price fluctuation in natural gas creates good opportunity to book profit. But sudden changing moves of natural gas futures evaporate all the profit to be earned by a trader in a single sharp move in opposite direction. This typical change due to sudden change in directional move followed by one-sided moves make the situation even more worse. I find this quite challenging to map the current moves for the sake of predicting next upcoming change in the direction of natural gas futures movement, especially at the weekly closing. Friends, now I will start to analyze the current moves of natural gas futures in my favorite chart pattern, which I have constructed to map the directional moves of natural gas futures during the year 2019. So here you can see that this is a daily chart, and after facing resistance at this level, natural gas futures move downward from the level of $3.416 to up to here, up to the level of $3.248, where they found good support. And here you can see that we are witnessing a good buying from these levels. Let me zoom it for you to have a clear view in a daily chart. Here you can see that in a daily chart, natural gas futures found good support at 200 days moving average, from where we found good buying in natural gas futures because these were the lowest price, or I will say this was an attempt to fill this gap, but the natural gas futures could not fill this gap, and therefore I find the natural gas futures to be steady during the upcoming weeks as presence of buyer is very thick below the current levels or the levels below the level of $3.301. I find there is a thick presence of bargain hunters come forward and take long positions in natural gas futures. So friends, in a daily chart you can see that the natural gas futures have found their support here at the level of $3.243, from where we have continuously witnessed a good buying. First, let me zoom out this chart. Here you can see that since we have seen a good buying and current position of 20 days exponential moving average is still above the 20 days moving average, and both of them are still above the 200 days moving average, and the natural gas futures price are currently at the level of $3.315, which makes it evident enough to remain above the levels of $3.382 as I can find on analysis of natural gas futures, but my aim is to define the expected level on the first trading session of the week for January 20th, 2019. So let me show you how the natural gas is behaving in a 4-hour chart in my expected trading zones, which I predicted for the January 18, 2019. Here you can see this was my fresh buying zone. No doubt that natural gas futures moved downward and came down below this fresh buying zone up to the level of $3.213, but we have seen a good reversal and formation of a green candle in a 4-hour chart, which makes it evident enough that the bargain hunter still going on amid this zone and buying natural gas futures. Now let me tell you about my strategy, that how I map the current moves of natural gas futures as I mapped the weekly closing on January 11th, 2019. Here, as you can see that I started to map up the move in an hourly chart. Here, these are my resistance levels, and finally the natural gas closed at the level of $3.157 when I predicted that on the upcoming trading session or the opening session on January 13th, we may find an opening at these levels, and here you can see that we found a good gap up opening on these levels. So this was my strategy to map up the resistance and support levels in an hourly chart to map the movements of natural gas futures before the weekly closing, to predict the opening zones for natural gas futures and the directional move afterward. Here you can see the directional move was maintained an uptrend. So in this process, the natural gas futures formed a golden cross here, which has given its impact on the afterward moves during the previous week, when we found a good upward move up to the levels of $3.759. From there we found selling and we came downward but found good support at this level. The levels which I indicated here with this blue line, where we have already found support on every downward move, and after taking a support from these levels we found good upward moves. But since January 17th we have seen a good downward move from these levels. No doubt we tried to enter in this second uptrend zone during the last week, but we could not sustain inside this second uptrend zone, and the natural gas futures moved downward till today, and finally we have seen a downward move in an hourly chart. Let me zoom it for you how, and we came downward. We see here that we came down up to the level of $3.203, from where we have witnessed a sharp buying from these lower levels, and we have seen natural gas futures have come above the 200 days moving average in an hourly chart today. Since then we have found once again a good support in an hourly chart here. In a volatile move we found another support at 200 days moving average, and third support we found here, and since then we are witnessing a good upward move in an hourly chart, and currently the natural gas futures have come up to the level of $3.317. So friends, I find that if we find a closing at below this level, below level 3, we may see a gap down opening amid this zone. So let me zoom out it first to show you my levels of expected opening, because the closing is still approx 2.5 hours away. So the closing levels will be very decisive in defining the next opening levels. So friends, I conclude my analysis that once we cross this level, we will see the natural gas futures to move upward till the closing above this first uptrend line, this one, and once they close above this first resistance in an hourly chart and close at this second level, we will see the upcoming opening amid this zone on January 20th, but there is no doubt if we successfully close up to the first level 1, we will find a gap up opening in this zone from $3.624 to $3.744. We may see a good gap up opening once we close above this level, above the level of $3.545. Once we able to close above this level, we will see a good gap up opening amid this zone. But on the other hand, I have defined two more scenarios on an upper move. Once we find an opening at this level, at level 2nd, we will find our opening from the levels of $3.404 to $3.521. Amid this zone, we may see our opening levels during the upcoming week. But once we close below this level 3rd, we may see a gap down opening. No doubt that we will try to find support at the 200 days moving average once again in case of any downward move after opening. So friends, the natural gas futures are still trying to move upward and trying to maintain an uptrend above this uptrend line. So let us see this move in a 15-minute chart. So here you can see that the natural gas futures have witnessed a good upward move here, and second move was a little bit of selling, and third move which is still maintaining above this first uptrend line. And I find that once we maintain and once the natural gas futures maintain above this first uptrend line, we may go up to the level of these levels. No doubt a sharp upward move will be there after crossing the 200 days moving average. In a 15-minute chart, we may see the level 1, or we may see a closing above the level 1 once we cross the 200 days moving average in a 15-minute chart. In next 1.5 hours, I find that a sharp upward move will be there from the level of $3.430. Once we cross this 200 days moving average in a 15-minute chart, we will find a sharp upward move up to the level of $3.549. So friends, be ready for an action in natural gas futures, because the natural gas futures have already been consolidated here. And now once again the natural gas bulls have started to move upward. Here you can see they are trying to cross this first immediate resistance where they are currently trading. And here in the 15-minute chart you can see that 20 days exponential moving average have turned upward and maintaining about 20 days exponential moving average. Therefore, I find the bullish trend looks intact in natural gas futures in a 15-minute chart. And once we find natural gas futures to cross their next resistance at the level of $3.361 and sustain above this, no doubt that the natural gas futures will try to break 200 days moving average in a 15-minute chart. And once they sustain above this level, above the level of $3.426, the natural gas futures may take a sharp upward move till the weekly closing above this first expected levels of closing. Once we successfully close above this level, we will see a gap up opening above the level of $3.622. So friends, be ready for an action. Here you can see that the natural gas futures making a good move in a 15-minute chart. This green candle is going to has shown a good strength. Now another candle has been formed in a 15-minute chart. Now let us wait and watch how now this candle will define the next upward move in a short while. So till now, let us see this chart in a 5-minute zone. Here you can see that the natural gas futures are maintaining a V-shaped recovery in this 5-minute chart, which is evident enough for a breakout, as the natural gas futures have broken the 200 days moving average in the 5-minute chart and still sustaining above the 200 days moving average. Once we find for another few minutes to remain above this 200 days moving average, natural gas futures will try to move upward and will try to cross immediate resistance, which is the third expected level. They will try to cross this expected immediate resistance at the level of $3.362. Once we find a sustainable move in a 5-minute chart above the level of $3.396, we will see a sharp upward move to cross this next resistance at the level of $3.459. Friends, be careful and wait and watch the closing levels to find the next opening levels on the first trading session of the week of January 20th, 2019. Now let me show you once again this chart pattern in an hourly chart. Here you can clearly see that now in an hourly chart, natural gas futures have come above this first resistance, which is at $3.328 and maintaining here, and here you can see that the 20 days exponential moving average and 20 days moving average are turning upward or trying to make a U-turn from this level. No doubt that they may turn upward once we maintain above this uptrend line in the hourly chart. If the natural gas futures maintain above this, we may see sharp upward moves from the current levels. So friends, this will be very decisive in defining the next upcoming opening levels during the upcoming week. So friends, thank you. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. If you like this video, don't forget to share this video with your more and more friends and subscribe my channel to receive more updates. Thank you.